Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Bennett Haynes, and I'm the supply chain specialist with People's Company. I hope you're enjoying the Land Expo and taking away useful information as well. I'd like to present my work and research around farm to market opportunities as they relate to regenerative agriculture and healthy foods. First, an introduction. While I'm currently studying for my master's in business at Georgetown University, my foundation in sustainable agriculture was built with small scale rice farmers ranging from 2 to 20 acres in Northeastern Thailand. I worked for 2 years in the fields, learning their methods from composting to soil and water management to livestock integration. Meanwhile, I supported market development efforts on a local level with their green markets and internationally in the organic and fair trade US retail and wholesale markets. Inspired by the diverse organic farms I had worked with and learned from, I started Ralston Farm as a community-supported agriculture program in 2010 and built the business into a specialty produce farm, working with chefs in the New York and New Jersey market. I ran the business with my brother, who is now a livestock manager for Carversville Farm Foundation, where he pasture raises heritage breed cattle and poultry. The business grew 25 times over 6 seasons, while transitioning to scaled production of specialty produce, including heirloom tomato varieties, culinary herbs, and other hard-to-find ingredients. The farm was not certified organic, but our transparency, on-farm weekly pickups, and regular communication built a reputation for authenticity, high quality, and flavor. Ralston Farm was an early mover in the Know Your Farmer movement and local food movement that has taken over cities across the country. I gained valuable experience in selling directly to chefs and building new business relationships. It also showed me the opportunity to work more closely with chefs to help them understand farmers' needs and build stronger business relationships. At Think Food Group, I was lead buyer of produce and specialty ingredients from a network of regional farms and distributor partners. I focused on not only meeting restaurant business objectives and cost saving targets, but also bringing our chefs closer to the farmers and ingredients we sourced. Today, I work at the other end of the food supply chain with People's Company, connecting farms with ingredient buyers across the food system. The global market, especially in the US, has seen a step change in consumer perception of plant-based foods. Items are no longer seen as bland options for vegan or vegetarians only, but foods with the look, texture, and flavor of meat and dairy, with appeal to a much broader consumer base. This will be a high growth segment going forward, in addition to dietary supplements and bakery products. So to continue with some of these macro trends, let's take a closer look at the organic market. So the organic market is now a $50 billion sector, about 2% of the total global food market. In 2020, we saw increased demand across staples, from eggs and dairy to breads, pastas, rice, and baking. From a most recent USDA report, consumer demand for organically produced goods continues to show double-digit growth, providing market incentives for US farmers across a broad range of products. Organic products are now available in nearly 20,000 natural food stores and nearly 3 out of 4 conventional grocery stores. Organic sales account for over 4% of total US food sales, according to recent industry statistics. Organic food is sold to consumers through 3 main venues in the US: conventional grocery stores, natural food stores, and direct-to-consumer markets. A typical organic consumer is difficult to pinpoint, but new research continues to shed light on consumer attitudes and purchasing behavior. Organic price premiums continue to remain high in many markets as the demand for organic products expands. Grains make up about 9% of US organic sales. But organic is the leading edge of a broader regenerative agriculture movement. Certification does not make sense for all producers, and the market for crops produced using otherwise sustainable agriculture practices is broadening. Consumers see organic as a cleaner product, but understand regenerative agriculture as organic plus, building soil health and ecosystem services. So how do we define regenerative agriculture? I think the diagram here from General Mills is a pretty useful way to visualize. A lot of the conversation around regenerative agriculture has focused on carbon sequestration, which is definitely an important aspect. Some parts of the movement have focused on certification, like Regenerative Organic Certified, which is useful for some farms or those deploying best practices. But like sustainable agriculture before it, which may have fallen victim to greenwashing or a dilution of meaning over time, regenerative will be broader than organic or a specific certification and will need to encompass agreement about practices and a coherent consensus. Brands producing from regenerative farms, Brands sourcing from regenerative farms will need to justify premiums with on-farm metrics that show environmental and social impact, leading to improved outcomes for farmers. This is the focus of today's presentation, how healthy food brands are part of this growing trend and will be a key part of the successful expansion of organic and regenerative farms around the country. I also want to mention packaging first, because as we see trends in food, we will also see trends in packaging, and progress will need to be made in tandem. We are seeing a real shift in how food is packaged, moving away from non-recyclable plastic. Mars, for example, owner of Ben's Original and Seeds of Change brands, has just announced the first food-safe, recyclable, microwavable rice pouch to come to market in 2021. Other trends center around compostability, using plant sources like soy, sugarcane, and now mushrooms, as well as post-consumer recycled content, are also important to keep in mind. More and more brands are also using craft paper to package their products, like Kodiak Cakes, sourcing wheat from Western US farmers, and Flourist, based in Canada, and featuring the faces of farmers for variety-specific packages. Packaging that uses plant-based source material will also be a growing market for producers. So a few case studies to help exemplify these trends. EightTrack Foods, based in Batavia, Illinois, is a newly launched brand from Maggie Sadowski, premium organic food without the waste. Maggie is a food scientist formerly with ConAgra Brands, focused on making healthy foods more accessible and triggering real change in how we grow, store, and transport our food. She partners directly with bean growers in Michigan to source beans and chickpeas. Organic dried beans now make up 15% of the overall market. The brand's mission is to prevent waste from the farm to the consumer, using canning to ensure the highest quality, healthy protein and enable the longest shelf life. Launched in the beginning of 2020, the business has grown significantly, with online sales through various retailers and distribution with Albertson supermarkets and 54 Whole Foods stores in the Midwest. Puris is a larger regional business expanding around both organic and conventional channels. The company has developed proprietary varieties of peas and soybeans and contracts with more than 400 growers across 20 states, with facilities in Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and South Dakota. Puris also partnered with Cargill in 2019 to expand production and meet surging demand. Industry tailwinds include a growing consumer interest in plant-based foods and grower support for more diverse crop rotations. Global protein consumption will continue to rise and will include both animal and plant-based foods. Yellow pea protein is a primary ingredient in several major plant-based meats and dairy products, including trendy new brands like Beyond Meat, Perfect Day, and Ripple. Peas have high levels of protein and gel strength for texture. McDonald's recently launched the McPlant burger after successfully market testing with Beyond Meat in 2019. General Mills, Kellogg, Nestle, and Unilever are all developing products using pea protein or other alternatives. These product developers need to develop high-value use for pea starch as well. Consumers are increasingly flexitarian and eating meat less often, while paying close attention to their food sources. And lastly, Sir Kensington's, a condiments company that was founded following the 2008 financial collapse. The founders were focused on starting a business around quality ingredients and better for you when compared to many conventional brands. After starting in gourmet food stores and restaurants, Sir Kensington's expanded into food service and built a stronger retail presence. purchased by Unilever in 2017 for $134 million, Sir Kensington's has expanded into a portfolio of new products, including flavored mayonnaise, mustard, and other sauces. Their work to reimagine overlooked food with fearless integrity and charm means partnerships with farmers for a wide range of ingredients, including sunflower oil, eggs, mustard, tomatoes, and cucumbers. By 2023, their goal is to source organic for 31% of ingredients, doubling their current purchasing volume. Sir Kensington's is a leader in the movement to build stronger supply chains, and many other large food companies are following their lead. So for a little bit more detail on the supply chain outlook and how it relates to farmland, we really see this as an opportunity to make regenerative agriculture as a producer-led movement and support the transition to new growing practices. So there are a lot of ways to achieve these goals. There are perennial type funds and funding available from investors who see improved carbon removal, regenerative agriculture practices, improved soil quality as condition for lowering interest rates. Food brands like the ones we discussed above, buying ingredients from both conventional and organic suppliers. NRCS programs to support sustainable practices. Programs through Sustainable Food Lab, the Midwest Row Crop Collaborative, Continuum Ag, the Nature Conservancy. Lastly, farmer-to-farmer training programs are crucial, and support through certification platforms like Leading Harvest. Farms need the tools, techniques, and technology to best utilize their land, but also need strong market opportunities to plan field rotations and venture into new crops. We believe there's a strong opportunity to add value to farmland at the processing, storage, and distribution points in the supply chain. On-farm storage of pre-cleaned grains for food-grade markets is a key starting point in this process. Food mills or processors require that grains are as clean as possible before entering their facilities. Food brands also rely on a decentralized network of regional processors and mills. It can be challenging to distinguish which consumer brands are sourcing from your local facilities, but our research has shown a wide network of processing opportunities for both organic and conventional growers. Further, farmer-owned seed cleaning, processing, and packaging for retail or wholesale distribution is a fast-growing model. McCaskill Family Farms, corn and rice, Golden Prairie millet, and New Life Market sorghum are all examples of grain growers with strong retail and wholesale markets for their packaged grains and sustainable partnerships with restaurants. E-commerce retailers increasingly want to facilitate a direct link between consumers and producers, which is a strong platform for farms taking regenerative approaches to farming. But certainly there are some big challenges to overcome, and I think this graph from Ernst & Young really helps kind of paint that picture. And I think there's some important dichotomies here, whether it's big versus small, less carbon versus more protein, this crucial question of science versus marketing. And so I think we know where farmers stand and how we want to support that part of the supply chain going forward. But offtake contracts for these farms are just the beginning of the farm to market process. Transparency is becoming a force and will be the standard for supply chains. As I discussed at the beginning, the growth of organic and regenerative foods will require strong and growing supply chains. Some more trends and opportunities that support farmland. Nutrition and immune health. Farms with healthier soils are growing higher quality crops. Plant-forward foods, new plant protein formats, more sophisticated alternatives are being developed. In fact, AB InBev just announced Evergreen, a plant-based protein made from spent brewing barley. 15% of grocery shopping is now online, which is up from 3 to 4% in 2019. And 80% intend to keep their shopping online. So this is time for farms to really go direct to consumer and create their own niche markets for high quality grains and other products. Snacking. 88% of people are snacking more, and 68% prefer snacking over meals. Comfort foods. 2021 will be a year about mindful indulgence with an eye towards health. We saw growth of 100% in plant-based meat between May and July of 2020. Lastly, regenerative ag and product and brand communications is here to stay. 80% of consumers prefer regenerative to sustainable. And consumers are rediscovering frozen food and the great value that's present there. The acceleration of product trial, especially in these circumstances, are bringing consumers back, especially for brands who can deliver on quality. So overall, these trends really point to more at-home baking and cooking in 2021. And this is an opportunity for farms and the ingredients that they're producing. And so with that, I'd like to wrap up with just a brief introduction to a new brand. And this is a project that we're working on at People's Company. So Farmer Food is a regenerative agriculture brand based on the crops grown and harvested on People's Company managed farmland. And so this brand really represents our values. We believe in health. We're working for the financial health of farmers and landowners, as well as the physical and emotional health of consumers. Connectivity. We believe in bringing different people together through the bonds of wholesome food products to form a greater community. Cooperation. We're working together to achieve the common goal of creating a better farming ecosystem where all stakeholders benefit. Sustainability. For the farmer and the earth, we aim to create a regenerative ecosystem that enables us to produce high quality premium food. And transparency. We provide the complete story in clear, simple language, so everyone knows our business practices. What you see is what you get. And so the brand is really guided by that idea of sustainable transparency. And we're still in the early phases of brand development, brand and product development, but it's been a very exciting process to think strategically about the future of this farmland business platform. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I welcome any comments or questions for discussion.